Welcome back to the Top Gear Philippines podcast. This is episode 13 and it's a special one. It's a special episode. As you can see, it's the Top Gear XX Tarpaulin because we just turned 20. We just celebrated our 20th anniversary. Sir Dinzo just turned 20 with the brand. And recently we held our Top Gear Awards. It's finally back after a 4-year hiatus.
4 years, yeah.
4 years, yes. And today we are gonna do nothing but talk about all the awards we gave out last week.
Yes.
All right.
So just for everyone's information, see, Dinzo has been with the brand for 20 years, and we recently found out he's the longest serving Top Gear staffer in the world.
Joke lang.
The others have moved on to something better though.
There is no greener pasture.
Oh. So for everyone's information, last week we gave out, as a surprise to the industry, Top Gear Car of the Year awards. Something we haven't done in a while. I think the last time we did it was the pandemic pa, no?
Yeah,
So
online pa.
yeah, so we have about 14 awards we gave out.
Yes.
And
Yes.
in this one, this episode of the podcast will basically go through each award and what we thought about.
Yeah.
What went through our minds when we were deciding what to give to who.
Now, if you want to take a look at what awards were given out, you can check out the articles on our website. We have 2 articles, one on the full list of awards and one on why the Ioniq 5N won the Car of the Year.
You spoiled it.
No one's gonna listen to
know.
this.
They should know.
I already know. And you can also check out the photos on our social media. It will have been up by the time this episode is out. So let's start.
Let's start. I think this one, first we have to thank our food sponsors for today.
Oh, yeah.
So this is
Full
from
Cupcakes.
VinFast from Cupcakes. They have Top Gear logos and everything. They asked when we were going to the office and they dropped off some food. So thank you, Magis and VinFast, for the food.
Thank
Really
you for
good.
the calories.
Really good.
And we try to lose weight, but every time we try, it's just a massive failure.
It is impossible in this industry.
Yeah. So the first award is Small Bike of the Year. And this one is between
Us too.
between us two. Because kami lang ni Leander nag-ride, no? But we decided to give it to the PG1.
It's easily one of the most exciting bikes I've seen from Yamaha so far. In recent years, actually. It's like a new segment. They haven't released anything like it before. It competes directly against Honda's CT125, the Trail 125, and those aren't exactly available here. So at least in the Philippines, it's like the first of its kind.
Yeah, it's interesting because sila Sheng were there actually when they shot it. And even non-bike people tend to like it. It looks weird. It looks a bit butch. And actually, it's a semi-automatic gearbox.
Yeah.
So it's easy to ride. Not the most practical. Marami kasi nag-post when we did our videos na it's the most impractical thing ever.
Doesn't matter.
But it's cool.
It goes up to like 80 sagad pag ako nakaupo, and it has 4 gears. And well, it's fuel efficient, but you don't have storage, you don't have anything to put your stuff, anywhere to put your stuff.
Yeah.
But it's really fun. And we took it off-road. I was really impressed. That's also the reason why I was vouching for it then. I was really impressed. It's a bigat kong to. It didn't bottom out. We were riding it across rocks. We rode it through a river. It was really, really impressive. It a well-deserved award.
Yeah. And what was it going against in our minds?
I don't even remember anymore because easily Small Bike of the Year, PG1.
Yes. That was the problem. We didn't actually think of it.
Okay na, madali na yan. Tapos na yan.
Yeah. Okay.
We're very scientific.
Yeah. Pinest namin lahat.
No, but to be fair, well, except for the last 3 categories, everything else was consensus. We decided on the bikes. Unfortunately for bikes and cars, but unfortunately for bikes, it's just me and Leander.
So the vote can swing 50-50.
It's 50-50. But at least
Unanimous to.
with this one and Big Bike of the Year, we were quite convinced. Yeah, so Big Bike of the Year, we decided to give it to
The CFMoto 450 MT.
Yes.
This one is not it wasn't as easy to decide as the PG1 because there were a lot of good new bikes this year.
Yes, there was a lot.
Dami.
Like what
Dami.
were launched this
Himalayan was also
Himalayan
here.
was there.
Aprilia had new bikes this year.
BMW had new bikes.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, even the new GS was here, and to think that was the one that won the award, and also deserved. Then they launched it here in Palawan earlier this year. Global launch. It was probably one of the most festive launches I've ever attended. sobrang grabe yung event. Like, one full day to just ride it in Palawan. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to join the ride. I rode it on a different time, on a different day. But it was really, really great to see all of the international media here, and all of them were raving about it. Like, weeks after the launch, everybody was saying just how good it is. And to this day, a lot of people are still raving about it.
Yeah, and it's nice na other than that and the DST concept ng Mitsubishi sa PIMS, we've been getting more and more global launches here, diba?
Yeah.
So we haven't seen that in a while. But the CFMoto, I think in terms of price, in terms of value, it just changes the game a little bit.
Yeah, it is. It set a precedent also. It's a new segment. Even BMW is coming out with a 450cc bike. And it's just, they're coming back to the actual middleweights. Kasi for a time, it was the 700cc's na parang middleweight, which is really heavy, too big. Now it's an actual middleweight. It's a 450cc.
Yeah. So now, we should get Sinadine's and Anton to start riding also. I remember the video that did well was Anton's Dins's learn to ride.
Ride na siya. We should get him to ride more.
Yeah.
Para mag-3-way big test na tayo ng bikes.
Yeah. Big bike test. But yeah, so now we can bring Anton and
Okay, we bring them back into frame. We've cropped them. We cropped them.
Podcast pala.
Yeah. So now, the first of the awards that we gave out is Best New Tech Implementation. So before we talk about why Ceres was, we ended up with Ceres as the one who won. What were the other things we were considering, Deans and Anton?
So there was the DMI of BYD.
Yeah.
That was
Yeah.
one. And a couple of safety systems.
Yeah, but safety system. So there's like the what safety system was launched this year?
We even I think we even considered Honda ulit kasi
For Honda
they
Sensing.
started introducing Honda Sensing to all of their models. Like even the base city, ganun. So it was also part of the consideration.
Yeah, si Leander says ulit kasi in 2020 it went to Honda.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was like the start of the big rollout for Honda Sensing. And now it's
ADAS in general.
ngayon it's like whole lineup. But yeah, Ceres really deserves that.
We chose Ceres because we wanted to feature the range extended EVs, right? And
Yes.
the only ones who had one, well, Ceres was the first to introduce it, and then BYD came out with one. Technically, Nissan Kicks also had that.
Was the
system,
very first REEV in the
but
country.
it's not really an REEV. It's more of a EV with a generator that supports it.
It's a series hybrid.
Yeah.
Technically.
So with the range extended EV, what happens is you have a car that has the power and driving feel of an EV, but when you run out of juice, your gasoline engine kicks in as a motor and charges the battery.
Yeah.
Now BYD has that. We've tried it.
The DMI, yes.
Yes, but that one has like a range of 100 kilometers, and it's not really fast. At least the ones that were launched by the time we had this. The difference was Ceres had the range extended EV with 200-kilometer range and a 0 to 100 time of under 4 seconds. It was fast and it drove really well.
And it wasn't just because of the REEV and the Ceres, because it also had a lot of different tech there. So,
Yes.
the infotainment system was it's not just an infotainment system. It's the whole brain of the car already.
Yeah.
And it's not like a bunch of separate chips talking to one another. It's like one central system. So that's actually pretty smart of them to do that.
It did a lot, and it's interesting. Their implementation of the same technology is so different from what everyone else was doing. So, well, everyone else being BYD, right? So BYD.
Yeah.
But again, that's the thing is, it's nice it's an award like this because the Ceres also cost 2 times the price of the BYD.
Yeah. It better be good.
It better be good, and it was, to be fair.
And to add to that, I was at the Paris Motor Show, care of Ceres, and their booth was really highlighting their technology. There weren't a lot of distractions. It was not a circus like some of the motor shows here. They just had they had a bare chassis there. You can see the drivetrain, and there was one car there, one of the Itos. It drove from China all the way to Paris. Tapos, so they cleaned it. But when you open the door, you can still see some dust. I mean, it's nice. It really showed na that's how they proved their range extended technology. They drove it from China to Paris and arrived at the motor show the days before lang. And they said that it's hard enough to find a charging station anywhere, but good luck along an intercontinental route. So when there was no charging station, they'd gas up. And and they kept on going, and the cars made it, and they really highlighting that tech. And it was centerpiece and a showcase that they're both in Paris.
Yeah.
And if anything, REVs are a pretty good
Compromise.
yeah,
Yeah.
because you can plug them in or you can gas them up.
Yeah, and it's nice because when I was driving the Ceres, it finally started, the gas engine kicked in right about SLEX from Tagaytay. So on the way back, because it had 200 kilometers. So when it was about 20%, it kicked in when I got to SLEX. By the time I got out into Makati, it was from 20% up to 30%. So it charges faster than it uses up the battery. So you don't feel any power loss or anything. It drives as if you had a full battery.
So it won't, kumbaga, it won't drain.
It won't drain.
Zero.
Yeah, as long as you have gas in it. My only question is, and I think it's something we have to tackle in a more technical article, is what happens to if you never use the gas engine? Will your gas just go bad in the car?
I feel like
It will.
like with some PHEVs, diba?
There
It's bound
are
to
actually
happen.
some in other markets, those who do short distances and hybrids na never nag-on yung makina, it can cause problems.
Yeah. Oh well, we'll see in a few
There's
years.
such a thing, diba? Na,
Yeah.
Yeah.
It usually kasi like 3 months, 4 months.
That's too long. Something happened to the gas engine, diba?
Yeah. And essentially your engine has been stalled for months. Pag if
Yeah.
if it doesn't turn on talaga.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I guess that's one of the dangers, but I doubt that anyone here in the Philippines would ever worry about that. Kasi sa sobrang traffic, I'm sure.
Well,
That
no,
engine
kasi
will kick in at some
with
point.
200 kilometers of range,
Sa bagay.
if you charge it every night, you'll never use it.
So if you buy a Ceres, don't charge it every night.
I'm feeling ko the software will. In the same way na our phones throttle down our batteries to secure it. I think eventually software will say na, hey, your gas has been there.
Well, maybe.
while.
That,
Yeah,
that's,
It
that
might be.
That
It might be. But remember,
that's smart.
We're specific. Certain countries like us are the only ones with high ethanol content. Other countries
Yeah.
don't. So interesting. But yes, so congrats to Ceres for that. The next award we have is Best in Marketing.
Yeah.
Yes, and
This was a bit of a weird award, I guess, but it's something more feel than anything else. So did we have anyone else we considered other than Hyundai?
BYD. BYD also, because they've been pushing hard.
They've been pushing
But-
hard.
I guess for me personally, one of the arguments was that it's just that the variety of what HMPH has been doing.
Yes.
Hyundai
Yes.
has been doing
yeah,
all
and
year.
Hyundai, it wasn't just on our side; it's also on the consumer side.
Yeah.
So they're making noise in the right places, and it's not just paingayan or hey, we launched this, hey, we launched that. And what really differentiated Hyundai for us is the product experience. And again, not just for us, because we are lucky enough to drive the Ioniq 5N and European racetracks,
it's
but also for
big
consumers.
thing. Yeah, because you went to Catalonia.
No,
No, Spain. Sorry,
Spain in general.
Spain in general to drive the Ioniq 5N.
Yeah.
Dinzo is our first among us to go to the Nürburgring, and it was with Hyundai.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
And,
And-
the way Hyundai does it, no, it's like they really want you to experience the product. Like,
Yeah.
If you note, diba, like their stance then, like nakadissect yung kotse, like it's how the tech is explained, diba, ganyan. So, like, their events give everyone a better understanding of their products. That's why, for me, they really deserve that award.
And I guess for me also, what really set them apart is that introducing a new brand is one thing, like with what BYD did. And for HMPH, it was like reintroducing its brand.
Yeah.
But at the same time, it also introduced the N brand, which is no small task. It's a performance brand. It's a performance division of a Korean brand that hasn't always been known for high performance cars.
Exactly.
And the fact that they were able to introduce it here, they were able to sell. I think they sold all the Ioniq 5Ns. I think Elantra hindi nag-sold out, but the Ioniq 5Ns were all spoken for. And when the cars arrived, they had this drift event for all the customers, which was a really cool experience. And it's a good way to introduce this performance brand that's really unknown to a lot of Filipinos, I'm sure.
yeah, but kudos to Hyundai for putting the focus back on the cars.
Yeah.
There was a lot of focus on what the cars they have, experiencing the cars, customer experiences. They went out of the typical mall displays and went to like Carrera Cafe, ganon. They had some long-term displays also. So That's why we gave them marketing of the year. Diba?
I agree. It's the variety. Like we said in our intro, how will a Roblox event help you sell cars? But it's just not. We like that. It's a multi-prong approach. It's not just about benta,
Yeah.
right? And
It's
it's
a lot of
about
brand building.
awareness, and it's not because they sent Antonio and I to Europe to drive. Hindi kami biased.
They sent me to Korea also.
So sending us abroad will not get you the award.
Yeah.
But,
It doesn't hurt.
Just kidding, guys. Just kidding. You guys did a good job. It's not that.
No, but it's unique because you were saying, Deans, diba? You went to the Nürburgring, and you were looking and you realized that there was a Toyota GR garage right there for testing.
yeah.
But Hyundai's the one who sent it first, and Hyundai
There was
doesn't
a
have
Toyota
facility.
garage. I saw there's a big BMW M Center beside the big Nürburgring sign. I saw the Aston Martin racing building. I saw the Goodyear. They all have offices there.
Yeah.
All the brands that are into performance. But it was N.
Hyundai N.
So, thank you. And yeah, it's a tricky award sometimes, but we felt Hyundai did the most variety.
Yes.
And to add to that, since you mentioned the Roblox thing, the fact that they're instilling it sa mga anak ng customers pa lang,
yeah.
that's smart.
That's good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They also have like really good merch. The
Yeah.
Hyundai N merch is
Oh
just
my god. I love their merch.
And connection there. One of their designers for Hyundai N merch is J.K. Evangelista,
yeah.
our former art director.
Who did our awards?
Who
this
did
year.
our awards also. His client is Korea.
Yeah.
He didn't pass through the Philippines. Korea contacted.
Oh nga daw.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it seems like the people behind Hyundai, both local and abroad, have their ear to the ground when it comes to
Yeah.
enthusiasts, and I
Yeah.
think that's our market.
Enthusiasts.
And
That's what they really call them.
Yeah.
It's not from me. Don't quote me.
No,
I didn't coin it.
Sige. So congratulations, Hyundai. And we mentioned BYD before. They did bring home an award. It was Breakout Brand of the Year.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Breakout Brand of the Year is the brand that made basically the most buzz from people and from the general public. No, you can see it naman sa comments. Ganun. Hindi naman siya buzz entirely, but they broke out from what they used to be.
But yeah, BYD, I mean, it's not just because of their marketing events. It's not just because of their consumer events, but, yung the buzz and the noise that they're creating, it also resulted in sales eh. Ang daming BYDs on the road now.
Oh my god, it's every day. It's not confirmation bias. I see a BYD at least one every day.
Yeah, and that's why they deserve that award. Kasi yun nga, any manufacturer can just hey, we're selling this, hey, we're selling that, hey, check this out, hey, check this out. But the fact that they were able to attract buyers
Yeah.
to the brand, and some of those buyers know that BYD has been here in different guises in one way or another.
Yeah.
Diba? So, they were able to shed that old image, and now parang they're this cool, hip,
Yeah.
EV brand all of a sudden.
I wish we had the actual sales figures, but I'm sure that it's
Yeah, we see a
high.
lot of them. Think about it. BYD's been here in the Philippines, 2005?
I don't know.
2006? Because I remember,
No man.
yeah, Mark Cheng had a really old BYD EV that he brought to one of the EV.
one of the older China cars.
They were
na
one of
talagang-
the
They were
They
here.
were really bad. They were really bad.
No,
back
but
then.
they had an EV then already. Like in 2009,
Chin.
2010.
the chin.
I mean, don't ask me.
Yeah, it was sedan.
Yes.
Yeah. So it's still running today. The first one they brought in, it's with Mark in one of the event. Mark Cheng. I saw him bring it last year or 2 years ago in one of the EV owners events, and it's still running down, no problems. Range is still generally okay.
Yeah.
But the big thing is, it's been how many years that BYD's been bringing cars in, and
It's only now.
it's only now that they're like.
boom.
So BYD, it's like every time we post something about any other brand, the major mass market like Toyota, Honda, it's always please compare to the Seagull, please compare to the Sea Lion, please compare to. People want the EVs to be a thing, and the one taking the lead for mass market EV adoption is BYD.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think it's a holistic approach also. They're breaking out not just in cars, but also they promise to build charging stations. And
V2L as well, yeah.
yeah, so it's like, okay, to someone to spearhead the EV revolution, at least in the Philippines, it looks like, for those who have been following, Tesla launched last week. It looks like everyone's following BYD in terms of EVs, diba?
Yeah.
And I guess it helps also that they're backed by Ayala, which also has an energy arm, so it also works in their favor. That
Asen.
Yeah,
ASEN.
yeah, it's a lot of synergies.
they have the capacity to actually build an infrastructure, build a network of chargers. So
Actually, that's one ace up their sleeve. Their plan is
ASEN.
yeah, man, boss.
they're trying to create a interlinked framework, like where cooperate with the Ayala Land Arm,
Yeah.
the malls, and they have EV Row. It's an app. 917
Yeah.
Ventures created an app
So Globe,
to locate charging stations, and that app is headed by SI, the wife of our former AIC, Paolo
siya
Subido.
naka-BYD ata free.
Yes.
Yes. It could also be she likes the car. So there's that.
I mean, it only makes sense.
But I've seen her at events and hi, hello, and then
Yeah.
she's in charge of EV Row, EV Row.
I use the app because we have a charger in Soledad. So pag may kailangan i-charge.
Yeah. So
And for now, it's still free.
it's a lot of connectivity.
Ecosystem. It's an ecosystem.
It's sayang lang because this could have been Gogoro, for example. But I don't know what's happening with them now. But it could have been
It's also Ayala. It's just that it's different technology than.
different technology and I think different scale.
I guess this is easier to adopt for our market right now. At least.
Although I really
right
like
now.
the Gogoro because we tried
Yeah,
it.
yeah.
Anyway, so that's BYD, the breakout brand of the year. I think from there we talk about who was the hype beast this year.
Well,
So thank you for the page views.
Thank you for the page views.
Toyota Tamaraw.
that
Yeah.
as of today has been confirmed will be launched on December 6, 2024.
Yes, in Glorieta in a public launch.
So even more hype.
Yeah.
There's so much hype to this. Because just to give you an example, me and Joyce were driving home, and then we saw the convoy of camouflaged Tamaraws
Yeah.
passing by. She took a 4-second video. We put it on Instagram, 500,000 views.
Yeah.
4 seconds.
There was also this one time, Charles and I were driving down from Tagaytay. May nakasalubong kaming convoy ng 3 Tamaraw, different
Yeah.
body styles. They were transporting it from one dealer to another apparently.
For training, yeah.
Hinabol namin. We chased it up kasi they were driving slow. Then we went ahead of them. We waited for them at one part of the highway. We took a video. Dadaan lang sila. Tapos yun. Like, easy
1 million.
300,000. No, hindi naman million. But 300,000+.
Yeah, and then your RV Tamaraw video for
that's
BIMS, 1 million.
earlier this year. That's wild.
Yeah, and then Dinzo tries getting on the back.
Yeah.
It just goes crazy.
Everything we touch with the Tamaraw is gold.
But speaking of touching the Tamaraw, like we were able to see it in person. We were one of the first ones to see it and sit in it.
Yeah.
It's great. It for a commercial vehicle, because a lot of people are asking about FX, and this isn't it. This is
the
the original Tamaraw, which is a commercial vehicle. All my friends, and you were saying like your dad.
My
diba?
dad was asking about it because he was surprised if it will be priced around 1 million for the
Yeah.
base. Like, it's a good option for businesses looking for light commercial vehicles.
Yeah.
It's practical. It's Hilux
practical.
engine.
Diesel.
Yeah.
Got the torque. It's got drop sides in the back. I mean, a lot of people are asking for the FX, but that's not the point of this. This one really is a commercial vehicle.
And it has the potential. It's a chassis, and it can be what you want.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
As we saw in PIMS, diba?
Yeah, in PIMS we bumped into Rafi Juan of MD1, and he was creating nice bodies for
Yeah.
the Tamaraw. They had the coffee shop there. It can be a people carrier, pickup.
Yeah.
Yung naka TE37. Ano.
Yeah. It's
that's
really
wild.
the hype is real because a lot of Filipinos, we have this attachment to the Tamaraw FX and the Tamaraw family, diba? The thing is, it's me and Dean's generation who's more the Tamaraw. We inanaabutan natin yung Tamaraw. Almost everyone else was the FX.
OG.
Ako,
The OG
FX.
Tamaraw.
From the
FX.
FX na ako eh.
the Marcos Senior time pa 70s, 80s.
Yeah. That was the original Tamaraw. It really was just a cabin chassis.
The rival was the Ford Fiera.
My lolo's old car.
Diba? I learned to drive on the Ford Fiera.
Yeah.
I almost ran over someone.
Side story. My parents call the Fiera the car that the vehicle that will make you religious.
Yeah,
Kasi pag nagdadrive ka daw, Diyos ko po, kasi no power steering, so tigas ng clutch.
Yeah, like also the car of the Joyce's family, they were selling photocopiers in the provinces. They at first had a owner type Jeep that was modified, and then they upgraded to a Tamaraw, the original Tamaraw, and it just made sense.
The OG workhorse talaga.
Yeah, you know why they upgraded? Because the Jeep was raining, so they spun out in the bridge and it was fell. So they were like, maybe it's time to go.
That's also the thing with the new Tamaraw. It has new technologies na.
Newer
May
technologies.
ABS na yan, may traction control din, di ba?
Yeah, so, and it just looks good for me.
It looks
very
good.
Utilitarian.
Looks unique then.
Yeah.
Very, very unique. Unlike anything.
Looks very good.
Yeah, it's got so much hype for a commercial vehicle. So just imagine what happens and what people will go crazy.
Potential is there.
If they announce an FX next year,
It's gonna be wild.
that's gonna be wild. Okay, so thank you, Tamaraw, for the page views and Toyota. And after that, we gave an interesting award this year. I Love the Planet Award.
I think the last time we gave it was 2019. Yeah.
Who won it then?
Shit.
Mazda.
Mazda.
For the Pangolin.
The Pangolin, because it was an interesting marketing
So 2020.
Yeah. So the Love the Planet Awards given to a entity or a person who has done a lot to further the environmental causes. And in this case, it was engineer Nielsen
Nielsen
Campit of DPWH.
He's from the DPWH and he has this personal project of his. It's a research. We first talked to him like 2 years ago, almost 2 years ago yata. This was still in incubation period pa lang. Na he was working on how to mix used plastic with asphalt. And earlier this year, he finally got approval, may standards na naset by the DPWH to actually use this technology widespread sa Philippines. So it was a big achievement for him and for the Philippines then in general kasi all of the asphalt you can use as long as it meets the standards and you can use all these used plastic instead of syempre it's been a big issue in Metro Manila and daming kalat. That's one way to actually recycle and reuse the plastic.
Yeah, we're the largest exporter of single-use plastic in the world. Diba?
Yeah, so it's a big deal. And also he also gave us his gratitude after the event, not just for receiving the award, but he said also that if it weren't for our help then publicizing this, baka daw hindi nag-move forward yung project niya. So that's also that's in a way medyo gratifying din for us. We helped in our own little way.
Yeah.
Diba? But it's a big deal. It's a big technology, and imagine if all our roads eventually in the future could be utilizing this.
Yeah, especially since we break it up every few years.
Yeah. Imagine na dami mong plastic na magagamit.
Joke lang yan.
Tapos,
But
election na.
no, but it's nice because normally there's like one thing that stands out, but we actually had a vote for this one because we also had the one of Toyota, the
vehicle recycling center.
Yes, the end of life vehicle center, and for me that's a big thing because it's the first time that we actually have one, na like authorized licensed vehicle recycling center.
Instead of just usual katay. Yeah.
Yeah, which is like we need to get these cars off the road at one point. Diba? I mean, it's one thing that we sell our car, but that car eventually gets sold. It gets too old, it goes to the province, gets sold again. And these cars, the technology inside them, the pollution they make, it needs to stop at one point. Diba?
Yeah, like remember all those MB100 vans? Where did they all go?
In the province.
In like 15 years
They
ago.
disappear.
They're non-turbo, diba?
20 years ago, everybody had MB100 vans, and then
Car heaven.
they're gone.
Yeah.
Car heaven, aka farther parts of Mindanao, probably.
Yeah, because as the car gets older, it gets further away from Manila, but it's still
further
there.
south.
Yeah, not just south, also north.
North, yeah.
Yeah, you'll see them going up Baguio.
I've seen so many Subic, Mitsubishi four-wheel drive vans.
Delicas, old Delicas. Yeah.
Space wagon.
Yeah, sobrang dami.
No, but yeah, that's why it was one of those things that we were really like talking about whether it was going to be this or Engineer Campit's Plastic Roads. But Engineer Campit's Plastic Roads won.
Mainly because it's also infrastructure.
Infrastructure. And it seems more global. It seems like a program that other countries can adopt from us.
Yes.
So congratulations. And that was a big achievement.
In the future, they're gonna be recycling cars to turn them into roads.
So we can
that's
just
where
Full circle moment
combine
ng
both.
Top Gear Awards, diba?
Basta hindi siya like Sonet green. The roads are people.
Grab that turned dark real
That
quick.
turned real.
Anyway, kind of recycling.
Moving on.
The next one.
We mentioned that we voted for some of the awards. 4x4 of the year was one of those that
Oh,
we
this was actually
voted.
What did you guys vote for?
Okay, so in the running, we had the Ford Bronco,
Land Cruiser Prado.
Land Cruiser Prado, Lexus GX, Jeep Wrangler.
And the Jeep Wrangler was it fought pretty well, but
Yeah. But
the Bronco won.
the
Basically.
Bronco won, and it wasn't easy because on one hand, okay, so the Prado yan eh.
It's the Prado.
It's a
Yeah.
Prado.
On the other hand, the Bronco's so good.
It's so good. And as a 4x4, it's so focused. Because the Prado, as much as it's a good 4x4, it's really more like you can use it every day, no problem.
Yeah.
It's like a more of a Swiss knife than the Bronco is, but as a 4x4, really the Bronco. Goat modes, diba? Like it's
Goat.
built specifically for that.
It's built specifically to go over any terrain.
And no one's driven the Prado.
That's
Yeah,
true.
that's
also.
true.
So that's
That's true.
how can you make
How can
something
really,
win?
yeah, we can convince ourselves that
Harlan have driven the GX, but that's not
The
quite.
GX is quite good also.
But it's not the same.
It's not
different.
Not.
Yeah.
And it shows then yes, it looks like it's rough and tough off road, but the Bronco, you take the roof
The
off.
Bronco, you can abuse it.
You can abuse it.
sa yung Bronco, you can abuse it straight out of the dealership. That's
Yeah.
also the thing about it.
It's the same effect that happened when the Raptor first arrived.
Drive
was
it out
crazy.
into the forest, into the mud, okay lang.
But yeah, that's why it won the 4x4 of the year.
Medyo, it wasn't a landslide. I think a lot of you also voted for the Prado.
I really like the Prado. Sorry.
Yeah. I think you guys picked the Prado over the
I
Bronco.
think we have to then put out the vote.
The numbers.
The
for
voting's
that.
online already.
That I only shared the car of the year.
Yeah. Eventually, by the time this podcast is out, Leander's gonna have
4x4 and the underrated car of the year.
yeah.
But yeah, among the four-wheel drives you've driven, medyo like, Carlo drove it, Leander, everyone drove it, and
You also drove the Wrangler.
I would say it's not the most comfortable at times, but it's like, it's charming in a way that no matter like baton mo ng kahit it'll handle it.
Well, not
If the award was
the windshield.
no, but if it wasn't 4x4 of the year, if it was SUV of the year, Prado would give it a run for its money.
Yes.
But when you say 4x4, it comes with a certain expectation. So that's why this one won that.
Yeah.
Okay. So from 4x4, we go to hybrid car of the year.
Yes. And
This one was funny because we thought when we were coming up with the awards that there were going to be a lot of hybrids that were launched this year. There were not a lot of hybrids.
they were
launched
not
this year.
because they missed the cutoff date. Because some of us wanted the CRV hybrid.
Yes.
Because it was, as a hybrid, it's a really good
Really good.
all-rounder.
It's really, really good.
However, hindi siya umabot sa cutoff
Tapos yung
date.
Civic Hybrid wala pa din nung time na yun.
Exactly.
It's like, ang galing.
And the Corolla Cross was a minor update lang.
Yeah.
Baka next year, Civic Hybrid.
No, but we actually were considering Corolla Cross. The
Yeah.
thing is, when we saw the price of the MG3,
It's really, really an argument for like
Accessibility.
Accessible,
Yeah.
how much is it?
accessible hybrid. 1.1 for the hybrid.
1.1 for a hybrid that looks good and drives
Drives
okay.
well.
Yeah.
Like for its price, you expect like you're not expecting like full premium interior, diba, and all that.
I
but,
mean, okay.
but it's good. It's decent. It's decent for a 1.1 million peso hybrid.
For 1.1 mil, you get you get good range. You get nearly 200 horsepower.
Yeah, that's also surprising.
Diba?
Yeah. And those who drove it, like Sheng, she drove it. She loved it. MG3.
It's the easy argument talaga. Accessible hybrid.
It's like it didn't just surprise some people. It actually surprised MG Philippines mismo because they were not expecting it either.
Totoo.
Yeah.
They were also a bit surprised with the award.
Because for them, they were not naman expecting, but if a car of theirs was gonna be nominated, they were thinking like the Cyberster.
They said even the MG4.
Or
Akala
MG4.
nila the MG4 was gonna win something. If
No, but MG3 at that price, people don't realize at 1.1 M, you're paying, it's cheaper than an Altis, but you're getting a hybrid, and it's just a good deal.
And it looks good.
It looks good.
Yeah, it looks good.
And
As a hatchback fan, it's clean. It's really clean.
So one secret to Top Gear Awards: if you're hatchback, you have a lot, you have high chances. Huh?
Yeah.
Launch a
Bring-
hatchback.
Launch a hatch.
Make
Or
hatchbacks
station wagon.
Make hatchbacks great again.
But there. Speaking of electric vehicles, we also gave out our EV of the year. And this one was actually easy to give out.
Kasi hindi siya Ioniq 5N.
Yeah, it was the BMW i4 M50.
My God, I love this car.
And my memory of the car is Leander blasting silently past us on the S-Lex.
At 100 kilometers per hour.
Shot and filmed in Mexico.
They were running at 60.
We don't know what speed they were going, but it's absurd to see a car pass and not hear anything.
It was funny though. We drove it going to Batangas. Or the whole team drove BMWs going to Batangas. But we were having too much fun with our cars, Anton and me.
Yeah.
I lost too much power going back. I had to shift to B mode from Batangas going back to SX. But what also impressed me about that is that it had performance, of course, but going back when I was in B mode, I actually gained kilometers. Actually gained range going down Startol. Kasi Startol is a bit downhill if you're coming from Batangas. I actually gained range. So parang if you drive it normally in the city, it will be a normal car. But
Yeah,
it has that power, all that power.
It's good that BMW invested in EVs, no? So as a EV of the year, the i4 M50 is it's a sports EV.
Yeah.
But we'll get to another one later on.
Yeah,
Yeah,
we will.
That's what we awarded EV of the
I
year.
actually did what maybe it's just me, I actually prefer the i5, but Leander actually made a really good point for choosing the
It
i4
is just you.
over the i5.
It's just
yeah,
you.
it's
5 Series kasi love mo.
Yeah. Biased
yeah,
ka.
your point was the reason why I chose the i5 because it still felt like a 5 Series. But your point with the i4 was
I don't even remember what yours is. Sinabi ko. What did I say?
that's just so much better than like a regular 3 Series or a 4 Series.
It sets itself apart so much from the regular 3 or 4 series, and that's really what makes it special.
Yeah. Well, congratulations to BMW for EV of the year. Let's move to luxury car of the year. And this one,
Did go to
Finally.
an SUV.
yeah,
The one you like.
I went to the Lexus GX, and we drove it. Deans and I drove it, albeit a bit short, no. But when we drove it, it just felt so solid. Actually, one of the things that a lot of people don't realize is it feels less Lexusy and closer to a rough and tumble off-roader than it seems. Like between this and the Bronco's interior, it's close. Mas maganda yung materials ng Lexus, but it's
sure.
close in terms of feel and like the chunkiness of everything. It's just
Yeah.
nice.
And for me, the Lexus kasi like, you're not gonna bring a 15 million peso Range Rover off-road. I mean,
You mean the unibody ones?
yeah, the unibody ones. They're capable, but would you dare? I mean, we
All-wheel
would.
drive sila.
I mean,
We would, because they're not our cars.
Yeah.
When I drove a Range Rover this year, I wouldn't dare at all,
Yeah.
even if it were my car.
The Lexus kasi, like, you have this luxury, you have this tech, you have the solid build quality. And at the same time, parang you're willing to use its capability. And that's what sets it apart from your usual leatherline crossover or luxury sedan. That's parang the GX brings luxury in every terrain, whether it's on sealed surfaces or you're rock rolling.
Yeah, we tried it on track, and it slid a bit, but for a
bone stock.
body on frame SUV on all-terrain tires, did pretty well.
It looks so good.
It looks so good.
I loved it.
Okay,
Kasi off-road nun talaga. So
Yeah, we need to try it off-road as well.
really, and then there's a camera that lets you see through the chassis and see the camera is like positioned. It's like you're seeing the ground right in front of you. And it works. It's amazing.
Parang ang spotter ng sarili mo when you're
Yeah,
driving kasi you see what's underneath. And it's clear. I assume it's clear.
It is very
Super
clear.
crisp camera.
Okay, I do have a question though. So, how much is the Lexus? 7 and a bit?
7 and a bit, yeah.
Yeah, and the Prado is 5.
5 and a bit.
Yeah, 5 and
Oh,
a bit.
Four-
Less.
4.8.
4.8, yeah.
4.8.
For it.
But if you can get it at SRP.
Oops.
My question to you guys is, which design do you prefer? The one in the Lexus or the one in the Prado?
I've said this before. I prefer the friendly Prado face. There are two Prado faces, and I've been asking Toyota Motor Philippines, and they just say, "Oh, we got the luxury look."
The
Square.
luxury look comes with the luxury specs. So
Yeah.
that's why we have the braces look.
But I like the round headlight.
The retro one.
Looks like the
yeah.
FJ Cruiser. So that's kind of an asterisk for me when it comes to
Which design you prefer?
which design I prefer.
Yeah, I like the Prado, or the low spec Prado with the Toyota badge.
The UN spec. Yeah.
Yes, but between the current Prado with the braces, which is it continues the design language from the previous gen Prado that was sold here, and the GX is nicer.
GX.
Ako, even without the round headlamps, I like the Prado more in terms of design.
GX.
I would go for. I really wish they sold the retro version, but the market of the Prado here is luxury, so I understand Toyota's decision.
I think even the round will sell.
Yeah,
I think both would have sold. I think,
Just the FJs.
but I think they sold the luxury one here because it comes with specific features not available in the base one.
Okay.
So I understand their choice. Na biglang okay
From a marketing standpoint talaga.
from a product planning
From a
standpoint.
product planning standpoint.
Why can't they just put the luxury bits there and then put the retro
Because-
grill and the black cladding?
Then nobody would buy the luxury grill. But let's go on to the underrated car of the year.
Yes,
And the one that won the voting, which was a bit of a surprise to me,
it's that much of an underrated car.
but not a surprise when I thought about it a little bit more, was the Kia Sonet.
Yeah.
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 Check ko nga.
Ano eh,
What is this guy?
The budget crossover class is growing.
Yes. It's a good deal.
Yeah.
It's a good deal. I was there at the launch, and when I saw it come out and I sat in it, I'm like, okay, it makes sense. It makes a lot of sense.
And I first encountered that car when we were in Shanghai. Which motor show did we go to in China? This was Shanghai, Beijing.
We did Beijing.
Beijing Motor Show.
Wrong part of China. When I first saw it, it's like my first impression was, boy, I hope they sell this in the Philippines because this will do well. It's the size of a Race,
Yes.
but truth be told, the cabin feels
Better.
better
Yeah.
than the Race. I'm sorry I'm saying that, but it feels better than the Race inside. The design as well. And when I was looking at it, touching the interior panels, etc., it's a really solid package. It was fully loaded, and even locally, the price is competitive. It's solid. Leander, you drove it. How was it?
Actually, I drove it only for a day after Sir Dinzo did, but all I can say is that it's really, really good value for your money. Sobrang solid deal niya. And it's no surprise that I've been seeing a lot of them on the road
Oh, yeah.
since they launched. And sobrang sulit eh. Like for
Yeah.
all that it gives you, like for the top of the line variant. And it's not, you could argue that the Rays might be a bit more fuel efficient, baka, but just the overall build quality of it,
Yeah.
it's not premium Kia. Don't expect premium Kia, but it, at least for its segment, it's probably one of the best interiors in there.
And to be fair, when you say premium Kia, you really feel a difference in once you go up the Kia model range, it's gotten really better.
Yeah,
There's,
Carnivals,
but
the Sorrentos.
I think where the Sonet excels in,
It brought some of that down.
unless you look really closely and you really nitpick, it carries that quality and value even to the entry level
Yeah.
segment. So I think it's surprisingly good. The design,
I like the design.
design's nice.
Kasi it's modern Tiger Nose grill na eh. It has the new Tiger Nose grill.
Yes.
Unlike with the Stonic, the old gloss black.
Ang ganda rin dimensions yan, ang ganda ng proportions yan.
It's really good.
Looks good. Anyone in the market for a compact to subcompact
Budget
SUV?
crossover, yeah.
It works.
Or, even if someone's just looking for, I want something na mataas, na 5-seater, medyo malaki yung trunk. Actually, that's another thing I noticed with the Sonet, among its peers, among its class. Visually, at least, ang laki ng cargo area niya. So that's another thing to consider.
Yeah.
Dapat i-big test natin yung Sonet sa
We will.
future. Yeah,
Eventually.
soon, real soon.
Okay, from there, we move to our last two awards, the big ones of the night. The first one is Performance Car of the Year.
Yes, and
What were the contenders?
And we were talking about Ferrari.
yung isa hindi umabot dahil sa cutoff date, which was the Nissan Z.
No, we considered it.
We considered it, but
But hindi rin abot sa cutoff date. That was one. And two, the argument against the Z was it was still based on the previous generation
Yeah.
chassis,
Compared to our winner,
which was a clean sheet design.
Clean sheet design. So good. So good.
And as Anton said, all new Mustang is just so much better than the new one.
It is.
Like you said, that we have this stereotype of Mustangs going haywire pag ano. If they leave me, it's parang mag-slide na just the next turn. But this time, it handles better, so much better than the old one.
Okay, first Carlos said this, like, it handles really well. It feels,
Yeah, I dared you to try it.
yeah.
Because when we drove it on the track, I was so impressed by it. I said, na, as a track car, I couldn't get it sideways. I couldn't get it to upset the chassis of the car, and the engine's pretty good.
And by the time I drove it, it's like, I remembered writing this down. It's like, well, dare I say it, it almost feels European. Because the Mustang went from being a muscle car. It was never intended to be a muscle car. It was a pony car. And Carol Shelby even called it a secretary's car at some point, which is very un-PC these days. But, it was the 60s. It was a different time. It's a GT with sports car characteristics, and I said, like, this feels European. It feels, dare I say it, almost like a BMW. In terms of
I was
the
about
way
to
it was
suggest.
planted, the way it's actually the steering feels better than a lot of European cars these days. I genuinely enjoyed driving it, and that's me being a Europhile, and that's also me. Like, I've always respected the Mustang, but I never really looked forward to driving one.
Yeah, I think you guys should drive it soon because
Yeah.
it's so different. Like if you enjoyed the i4 M50, this one's probably more fun.
Alam ko na papasko ka, Sir Dinzo. Mustang Lenda.
Lego. Akala ko. Lego.
Mustang Lego.
Lahat na lang Lego.
And the other thing was, like, yes, there are faster performance cars that were launched this year. You got 3 second to 100 cars. You got 2.5 second. Ganyan. They're fast in a straight line. Yes, the Mustang is as well. But everyone's going downsized turbo. Everyone's going electrified performance. It's only a matter of time before we lose naturally aspirated performance car engines. And the Mustang, I wouldn't say abot kaya, but it's not 10 million, it's not 15, 20 million. It's about 5. And
For what you get.
you get the experience there. That's also what you're paying for there. It's not the fastest sports car in the country. But in terms of experience, in terms of the feel, it wins.
Yeah, the fact that Anton's praising it like this is good.
I know.
Yeah. I mean, I don't have a lot to say about it, but I'm impressed with how impressed he is.
Yeah. Okay, and then from that Ford Mustang, we go to another sports car. And the reason why it did not win EV of the year, the Ioniq 5N, is because it won our car of the year.
Overall.
It's a bigger award.
It's a bigger award. And the Ioniq 5N, God, when you first try it, it's crazy. It's a crazy.
I
little
keep saying when people ask about it, I say it's the most ridiculous car I've ever driven, and I mean it in all the good ways.
Yeah, because it has rev matching,
It's crazy.
throttle blipping. It has a
Absolutely
rev
crazy.
limiter.
And it even has this mode. I remember when we were driving it in Korea, there was a bend that normally before you take on a corner that fast, you let go of the throttle, brake, then you feather through, di ba?
Yeah.
There's a mode if you set it to like yung second mode niya na parang regenerative braking mode.
Yeah.
You floor it, then you let go at some point, and you just let go and just steer. The regenerative braking will be enough to like keep control of the car. Para ka lang nagfe-feather ng throttle at the same time slowing down na sakto lang. Parang ang galing eh. Like it's so
it has
stupid na
Track one pedal
insane.
driving.
Yes, yeah.
Absolutely insane.
And
It can drift.
the irony of the Ioniq 5N, no?
Ironic 5.
Ironic 5.
Ironic.
We like it because it feels like a gas-powered car.
Yeah.
That's the irony of that
It's
car.
the first for me. The reason why it won is that it's the first EV performance car with a soul.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's just fun.
Tama.
It's fun to drive, and it's not because it has all these gimmicks, but it also has good dynamics.
And the gimmicks are there not to not as panto or anything of that. It actually enhances the experience. Like, di ba it buzzes, it vibrates behind the wheel, kahit EV siya.
Weirdly vibrates.
And I keep saying, nung una, when I saw some of the guys who drove it in the Philippines first na, uy, may tunog, ang kulit. Like, di ba, you can set the sound, the engine sound that it imitates. Pero when I drove it, and you're behind the wheel and it actually revs and it actually red lines, I like how it has a rev meter because it kind of shows you where you're at.
But the funny thing is, it also bogs down.
Yeah, it bugs
That's
down.
why when you asked me for a quote, all my quotes had quotations.
Yeah.
It's like it's got a rev limiter.
It's like when you're driving, like with the i4 M50, you floor it and then bang, it just goes.
Teleports.
When you're driving the Ioniq 5N, you have an idea of where you're at without actually looking at the speedometer, the gauge, kasi you feel the revs
And the sounds and everything.
Yeah, and it really makes you feel like you're driving just a stupidly fast car, not exactly an EV.
It's GTR performance without burning any oil. And the nice thing about it is, for me, it's all of these things, these rev matching, the things that make it more fun. You have to turn it off if you want a faster lap time.
Yeah.
Because when you turn it to pure EV mode and it's just that linear throttle that everyone knows from EVs, you're actually faster on track.
And
So
then,
all of this is just for fun.
and I guess if not for the loud powder blue N color, it'll
Which
pass
I
off.
love.
I love it. It'll pass off as a regular EV.
I've seen the Hyundai's in a silver, the other colors. Okay.
It looks like a
May
regular.
black din.
Also nice.
There's also a black one. It looks really good with the red highlight, di ba?
Yeah, ganda.
Ganda.
I really want one. Like, it's one of the only EVs that I really, really want.
It's
Crazy.
crazy.
Another thing I noticed about it no, was, syempre lahat tayo, we grew up with sound in the cars. Okay, this is probably gonna be for like a limited customer base that will understand it. Because of the sound, it's actually easier to drive on a racetrack compared
Yes.
to a
Yeah.
standard EV. Because okay, I'm shifting down. I'm blipping the throttle, ganyan, and because of that, it's like okay, that means I have to slow down for this corner because I downshifted here earlier. I know when to turn in because I can hear the revs dropping. I can hear
Yeah.
mga ganon.
It's all the experiences now we take for granted in a normal car, but in an EV, it helps you parang get used to it faster. How the car will handle a corner, how it will handle under braking. You know you're braking because you feel everything, hear everything. So
It's amazing how sound and vibrations, like make it an easier car to drive
Yeah.
at near the limit. Because we never took it 10/10. Because if we took it 10/10,
you would, yeah.
I saw it 10-10.
you saw it 10/10. So
In the Nürburgring, with a German driver who's been driving there for 20 years.
It's crazy, no?
It's... Ganito na lang he has barf bags at the ready.
Oh, yung hilo factor. And yung hilo factor, I always say it, pag pasahero ka, there's the hilo factor. You tend to get dizzy. Pero as a driver, even as a driver, di ba, I remember your story, merong ibang media na nahilo din.
that was
Sa'yo ba yun? May ibang, kahit driver sila.
The
diba?
I-30N.
I-30N pa lang yun.
Clarify. But I've seen it 10-10. And I don't know. It's different. It's warp speed and
Warp
it
speed.
jumps on the Nürburgring. So I think all I can say is there's always been a question, a resistance even from gasoline performance to EVs because they have no soul. How do you distill decades, a century of
ICE.
loving ICE, the sound, the smell, but the Ioniq 5N works
Everything except the smell.
except the smell. It could be the missing link. It could be the start of the missing link. The transition from transferring the love of gasoline to EVs. It could be the start of everything,
Yeah.
right? And then other car brands will learn how, and then
This is how you make a soulful
Soulful EV.
by replicating gasoline. But well,
No, but that's the fun part. Because anytime a software update, you take away all of that, what do you have? A very good high performance EV.
Yeah.
So it's just, you have all this technology, might as well use it. Diba?
it's a good start. And
Yeah.
like I've been watching some Top Gear videos, and I think the sound of the Rimac, they're using the sound of the whine of the motor already.
Yeah.
Remats. May article tayo na eh.
I'm sorry.
Remats. Okay lang.
we rarely write about. Anyway, they're using the natural sound of the motor already.
Yeah, they use helical gears. There was something to increase the
so-
sound.
Yeah.
The Ioniq 5N, this could be the bridge.
Yeah.
And honestly, I was actually surprised that they launched it here.
Yeah.
I thought at first na there's gonna be no market for it because it's gonna be too expensive and it's electric. The Elantra N would make more sense. But lo and behold,
And
holy
guess
crap.
what? Yun yung nag-sell out.
I remember a week after the turnover, we dropped off Carl at his house. We already saw an Ioniq 5N, a customer. And it was so fun to see one. And a week after, I saw one in BGC. It was really cool.
I really want one.
And
We ought to borrow one again.
I heard from Hyundai, maybe one of the dealers, everyone who ordered the 5 and they were waiting for it. And then when they learned that the 5N was coming, they jumped.
They canceled the regular 5 orders.
5N na.
Well, kasi you get excellent range pa din naman.
And,
diba?
and because
And
the gap is not that big,
Yeah.
ano yung price gap? $500,000?
Less than half a mil.
So, but everyone jumped na.
yeah, which makes sense.
Almost everyone.
It's gonna be a farmer ride and all
Less
that. But
for less than 4.5 million, you have 600 plus horses.
Yeah.
and it accelerates absolutely wildly.
I mean, it's not the
sobrang-
fastest car we've ever driven, but
Like, it's crazy and it stops on a dime. Like
Yeah.
for a very heavy electric vehicle, that's what I was most impressed with. It stops on a dime. It has crazy big brakes. You see the rotors in front and sa likod. Di ba, laki nung gulong, then the brakes are
Yeah,
almost as big. It stops on a dime. It's so good. It's
I did see the limitations though because I drove it on the Nürburgring and then one round and then I drove the I-30N and then I'm so tired. But maybe one more because I'm here. But I'm so tired. But I said one more round with the Ioniq 5N. No, they're charging already.
but it really burns.
it is what it is.
It burns electricity really fast on the track.
so
Kasi it makes use of everything eh.
Yeah.
All the technologies at work.
Yeah, that's why it won Car of the Year. The Car of the Year, the way we did it, we voted on it. So all of us submitted our votes, and then it just came out on top. So
Yep.
you can read all about it in our on our website and an article. We also see who voted for what, so it's very transparent. But yeah, that's all the time we have
God,
today.
It's been a long episode, but thank you for
Congratulations.
sticking around.
Yeah, congratulations to all the winners.
Yeah.
It was a fun 20 years so far, and we're looking forward to many, many more.
and I just want to thank again everyone who came. I wanted to say so much, but they surprised me with an award and thank you to everyone who arrived. If you think about it, the people in that room, they're gonna shape Filipino mobility for decades to come. Basically,
Yeah.
all the car brands were there. My parents were there, and I want to thank my girlfriend. Thank you for helping out, for
Yes,
helping us, for helping us cut the awards.
Trophy.
Thank you, Betty, and personally for being with me and on that journey for so many years and helping me process all the work sometimes when it gets too hard. Thanks, babe.
Okay. Thanks, guys.
Shout out to everyone. Thank you all for watching as always, week in and week out, and thank you for the 20 years. Here's to more awards, more years.
More
Even
years.
20 more. 20 more 20 years.
20 more 20 years.
That's 400 years.
I don't know. Pagod na.
See you guys. See you guys.
See you in the next one.
Thank you.